Shalom, and welcome to Israel Today. This is Rabbi Roger coming to you from Israel. Today is our Friday Shabbat teaching, and this Sunday, June 9th, 2019, is the biblical holiday of Pentecost, or Shavuot as we call it in Hebrew. For us in Israel, it begins on the evening of the 8th and ends on the evening of the 9th. Shavuot, or Pentecost, is celebrated during the springtime as described in Leviticus 23:15 through 21. It is to be celebrated 50 days after Passover, commemorating when God gave the Israelites the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai. Yet, we know it is a special time when the Holy Spirit fell on those in the upper room and were filled with tongues of fire. Prior to this holiday, it is something we talked about recently, the counting of the Omer. There was a time when the only way to count the 50 days between Passover and Shavuot was using an Omer, or a measure of grain. For 7 weeks they counted the Omer until the 50th day. Then they would bring in the offering of the first fruit into the temple. During the counting of the Omer, there was also some special events that took place at another time within history. After the death of Jesus, we see the following. Day 1 of the Omer, Jesus was seen by Mary Magdalene and some of the other disciples. Day 8 of the Omer, Jesus appeared to Thomas and the disciples again. Day 40 of the Omer, Yeshua had appeared to the disciples during those 40 days and then ascended into heaven. And day 50 of the Omer, the Holy Spirit fell on 120 people as tongues of fire in the upper room. Now, when celebrating Shavuot, Jewish people all over the world will generally stay up all night and have Bible-thons to see who can read the most. The book of Ruth is generally read in synagogues on this holiday because it tells us something special that happened during the harvest to a non-Jewish person. Sounds like a wedding feast to me. I remember we used to take our prayer shawl, talit in Hebrew, and hang it on the ceiling like a canvas, or a chuppah as we call it in Hebrew. This is a prayer shawl that hangs over the bride and groom as they get ready to come into covenant. Then, we would celebrate and dance under it and practice the wedding feast with the great king. Something that is customary during this holiday is to see branches, flowers, or fresh fruits hanging in the home or synagogue. It is a reminder of the flowers that blossomed on Mount Sinai the day the Ten Commandments were given. According to Exodus 34:22, this holiday is known for a time of reaping the first fruits of wheat harvest, which were brought into the temple as an expression of thanksgiving. This is why it is known as the holiday of reaping or first fruits. Some events that either happened or were speculated about on Shavuot are the receiving of the Ten Commandments. King David was born and also died on this day. This is based on tradition only, of course. The Holy Spirit fell, and the Western Wall was opened for visitors in 1967 after the Six-Day War. If you want to get in touch with us or get on our mailing list, visit branchofisrael.com. Again, this is Rabbi Roger coming to you from Israel, and thank you so much for listening. Shabbat Shalom. Have a peaceful Sabbath.